Our next presentation is, or the training, I would say a training, is about how to present your idea. And not just any way, but the way that we know, and the way that I've seen work. And I'm gonna tell you a few examples why I believe that they asked us to do this presentation in front of you. It's not just because we're a marketing agency. Not every marketing agency knows how to present. But a lot of the people that we work with, because as I told you, in our team, not only with clients, but also inside of our team, we pick people who have the same values as we do. And all of the people in our team have worked for some NGOs. And they have done it with no payment or whatsoever, just in their free time. And while I was doing that in Junior Chamber International, a very big international organization, the first year I went there, I became the president of the local chapter, and I needed to have a program. So this program is more in an entrepreneurial kind of projects or events, but also some cultural, to be honest. Cultural Bites and Vibes was, for example, one of the festivals we organized back then. And I was 25, just so you know, and I had such big dreams. I really believed that I would gather on those festivals hundreds and thousands of people, and the only thing I needed was money, because I also envisioned very pricey things. I mean, I really wanted it to look great. So I did a lot of presentations in front of a lot of companies, a lot of corporations, and I believe that's why Jenny here, she also did so, because she was part of another ISEC, also a very big international organization for young people. They also did a lot of fundraising. So today's presentation, it's not just about how to present, okay? It's about how to present your idea so it gets funded. Okay, so it's kind of in a subject that Victor already started. And now I'm gonna give my mic to Jenny, and we're gonna split it.
Yeah, okay. I think, can you guys hear me? Okay. So my name is Jenny. I'm social marketing. I was social marketing manager, but now I'm a creator in Limacon. So we created with our team the social media strategy of Cultart, and it was very fun to do. Thank you again for the opportunity, Cultart, because it was very inspiring to work in your city and work with international groups of people, and to get to inspire them with not only just visuals but the idea behind. So yeah, today we have hard task, because it's the end of your first day, to obtain your attention, but bear with me, please. So we have the table of content of our presentation. First, we are going to talk about how to take your idea to reality. Then we're going to proceed with the why sponsors are your absolute necessity, because, believe it or not, they're necessary evil, like we say in Bulgaria. Third part of our presentation is our 10 rules to create and obtain sponsorship. Then we're going to move to how to create a killer sponsorship proposal presentation. Just a few tips how to, what parts of your presentation you should include, but the musts of it. And again, design musts for your presentation. So this is a very straightforward presentation. Like Lala said, it's very mandatory, but I think you will like it. And afterwards, we will have your questions. So, yeah, from idea to reality, how to do that? Every idea originates in the mind of one person, right? Like you said, you have your ideas. In order to grow that into reality, the person must find like-minded people like we are here. I think we are. In that case, we're talking about a cultural project, right? Like-minded people can be the people with whom the project will be carried out. The sponsors are the one who will secure the projects. The speakers or the content creators are the one who will make it glow and make it shine for everybody who are interested. Yeah. When you have an idea, or one of your main tasks is to light the fire in all of these groups: the sponsors, your team, the people who you want to attract, your target audience, all of them. So you have to be inspiring. This project becomes it is your mission, and it should become their mission too. How to do that? Because
That's hard.
that is hard. It's like you have to be a leader in your project, and you have to ignite that spark in your people. You need to present your idea perfectly. You need to show people that you know what you're talking about, to show your statistics, show your budget, show your target audience, and all that data, you have to connect it with the values of your sponsors. So build a bridge between your idea and your sponsor. We're going to tell you how to tell captivating stories, but we won't tell you how to be inspiring. This is yours to do. Because sometimes the truth is that just story without statistics and results cannot win over your sponsors. It's important to visualize your ideas and present them to the people in a compelling way. So here are our 10 rules.
I just wanted to add here, you gotta understand that from all these audiences that Jenny was talking about your team, the team, they're probably kind of the easiest, because you meet them spontaneously sometimes. They're from your crowd, so you share kind of the same values and all that. They have the same interests and all. Your target audience, it's hard to find, but it's there. And when you find it, they're also like-minded people. But your sponsors, and that's why we say that's the necessary evil. It's evil. It's not evil, but it's the stone in your shoe sometimes, just because they expect things that are not possible. Your people of culture, you are dreamers, you think different, out of the box, and all that. Your sponsor, most of the time, think in numbers only, and in their interest only. So that's why they're your hardest audience, and that's why it's super important to be prepared, and that's why there are so many rules of how to get prepared for the meeting, and how to actually pick them, which is the most important thing, which we're going to talk about right now.
So before we start with the 10 rules, I have something to add. You have to shine bright in front of all of your sponsors, and to differentiate yourself from the pile of all the proposals that they get every day, every month. I don't know. So it is a hard task, yeah, but don't lose hope. never lose hope, because you will get as probably too many no's, but there will be one, and you will take your idea to the next level, and you will realize your project or event. So, what are the 10 rules to create and obtain sponsorship? First, we're marketers, and we have to advise you, please research and fit. You have to research your sponsors, you have to know their background, you have to go on their social channels, see what are their interests. Do they have some social responsibility, corporate activities? Do they have something new in their program or in politics of acting? Research and fit. Take time to research your future sponsors.
I'm going to give you an example here. We work a lot with Schneider Electric, and they do amazing stuff for the society most of the time. But once we started doing their corporate social responsibility, we started going with different super interesting projects to them, and they were like people from very up, from abroad, and from very up positions or in the hierarchy. We have only one subject that we cover, and this is the energy efficiency. And that's it. Energy efficiency. We're not. It's amazing that you want to do those nice things for the orphanages, but it's just not our subject. It's not that we don't want to help them. It's just it's not in our program. So that's why researching and kind of pre-fitting, because if you're gonna go and be super prepared to know that if those people are not gonna, it's not in their program, or they have a really strict corporate social responsibility program, you're just losing their time and your time as well. So that's why it's super important.
Yeah. So we've listed some of the things you have to research in the web. I won't take time of that. Yeah. So the second, always be prepared. From the first one to the next one, they're connected as usual. In order to support and authenticate your proposal, you must have been prepared with some musts, like marketing material support, like brochures or something that you're going to give the sponsors. If it's an offline meeting, if it's an online meeting, you have to show them a booklet or a presentation of your idea. Always be prepared of that. Marketing materials first must. Email template with the proposal. When you're going to follow up that person, sponsor, organization, or whatever, you have to follow up always. And again, must not follow up 3 days after the meeting, or 2 days. Even 2 days are crucial because, like I said, they have a file of proposals, and you're amongst them somewhere there. So yeah, email template.
It's very impressive when you go out of the presentation and in few minutes they receive the email. I've had few calls afterwards and few times feedback that this was impressive for them. The organization is so strict and so time.
Yeah. The third is presentation template with statistics. Sponsorship packages must, again, if you have an event, you have sponsorship packages. Let's say, silver package, golden package, premium package, where you will include the benefits that your sponsor will get. And the fifth one is draft event program. If it is an event, you have to have a program with some famous people like influencers or influential people in your area.
Here, this is also important because a lot of people think, oh, I should have the whole program before I go to my sponsors. That's not true. Make sure that you secure the most important names. So if you have 2 very big names on your list, or not just names, because I'm talking about only speaking events, but the 2 things in your program that would make the whole program, you could already go to your sponsors and then you tell them that you're going to have, for example, 20 acts, but you already secured those 1 or 2 that are super important for them. Yeah, or all, but always, you don't wait. You never wait for them all to be said. Yeah, like Madonna, yeah. You have Madonna, you have them all.
She's a shooting star. But okay, next one. Be proactive. Show them that you're truly committed to your idea. So you have to ignite the spark. You won't. Don't expect them to know you just from one social media banner or just from one call or something they saw in the media or whatever. You have to be proactive, and that's why we said you have to follow up every time you have connection with the sponsor, or follow up when he's not calling you. Follow up when he's not. You don't have any answer of him or her. For the best strategy for that is to make a schedule when to follow the sponsor. First, you have to contact him after the first meeting. Immediately, email. This is the best form. Then you have 3 days passed, and you don't have answer from your potential sponsor. Again, call them or email them. And again, after 3 days, always communicate with your sponsors, because this is the connection you want to have in the future with them.
A lot of people ask me, how many times is enough? Okay, this is a good question. It depends. We all gotta be psychologists. So when you have already met one person, you know exactly how many times it's okay to call them. Okay, so if you see that they're very chaotic and they probably forgotten even after the second follow-up, it's okay to call them again. But if you see that it's a very strict person, and you kind of fear that it's not gonna happen, then I would stop after the 3rd call. Okay, so 1 follow-up email, 2nd call to remind that you have sent the email. 3rd call to ask if they had the time to really discuss your offer, and 3rd time we haven't heard from you for a week. We just wanted to see if you were still in your pile of the things to discuss, or you've already put us in another pile. And to be honest, in this last conversation with them, in this last call, I try to be funny. Again, it depends on the people, but if you're funny, sometimes you could turn things around. It happened only once to me, but it was amazing.
So be proactive. Our 4th rule is get the decision makers in the room. Because if you present your proposal to some who's not the decision maker, you'll not only waste energy, which is crucial, you will be speaking to a person who will have to convey the information, and
They will have to present.
yeah, they will have to present. Then we have, yeah, you're the best presenter of your idea. Yeah. So get the decision makers in the room. The fifth rule is be adaptable. Everything might happen. So present according to the situation. For example, you don't know where you're going. You just know you have a meeting with your sponsor. You're going in a meeting in a hall full of 10 people, and let's say you don't have PDF file of your presentation, but you have a booklet that you have to hand out. But it's only one, and you have 10 people to impress. What are you do? What is the thing you will have to do is to be. Okay, start with that. Yeah, tell a story. Yeah.
What we talked with Jenny when we're doing this presentation is we really experienced it both. Sometimes we weren't prepared enough. So when you go into a presentation, when they ask you, okay, come present to us, you're so happy on the phone, you never ask those super important questions. How many people is going to be on this meeting? Is there going to be a screen? Would you like a presentation, or is it going to be just a conversation? And all these super important for you questions, you forgot. And it's not very much okay if you're just going to call and ask them again. So what you do, you stay prepared for any kind of situation. So if those people, and what we wanted to tell you is, you gotta really feel your audience. If you go and there are 10 people and there is a TV in front of them, they're expecting you to present. So have a presentation on a flash drive, always with you, or your computer that you could just plug in and start presenting. But if you go into a room with one person, they most probably want a genuine conversation with you, okay? They want to hear exactly where did you come from. So here you start not talking too much about numbers, but more about the emotion, because when there is one person, you could really trigger an emotion in them. And that's the best way of getting funding, by the way. So just be adaptive. Don't think, just because you did a PowerPoint presentation, that when you go into whatever room with 1 or 100 people, you would just put the presentation and start it. No. Even if I have a presentation, if I stay face-to-face with just you, I will not even open my presentation slides, okay? So that's why we say be adaptable in the moment. Don't just, you have all those scenarios played out in your mind, but they don't matter. Just be in the moment and feel what you should do in the moment, and have all these materials with you so you could react to everything timely.
Yes, and that being said, capture their attention. It's the best talk in stories, and you have to ignite your stories with presentation with stories. Stories capture the imagination of your sponsor, of people of which you are presenting, of your audience, and grab their attention. And afterwards, in 2 days, probably they will connect with the story that you have been told, not the presentation. This doesn't mean that statistics aren't important at all. You have to balance them. Like present your statistics, present your data, present your target audience, then connect the target audience with the story. And then again, you have to present program, story. Yeah, simple. 7th rule. Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. Those words, they trigger something in people's mind, okay? And they start actually listening and hearing you, because they're listening, but they're not hearing you other ways.
You don't have to be Steve Jobs. You just have to be genuine. Be decisive. Talk about why the event is important. And to the society, to the world, to your sponsor. Talk about the results from your previous editions, if you have those. Or if you don't have, talk about what are your aims for this edition and what are future plans for this edition. Is there going to be a second edition of that in a year or two? And yeah, so the eighth rule is be respectful. Always be respectful of their time. Probably your sponsor has a very busy schedule. So be respectful first of their time, and second, be respectful of their decision. If they say no, don't get angry. Probably get angry afterwards, but don't get very proud of him or her. And just dig in the why. Why did they have to choose no, and why didn't they choose me, my idea or project? Yeah. Always follow up, but just a slide to remind you, you have to follow. The next one, I think. Pamper them and report to them. The best sponsors are the ones you have. If you already have, yeah. From previous editions, previous years, connect them, pamper them, treat them specially. Always report to them what was the reach. What was the reach of your event in the previous year? What was the engagement of the target audience? Give the statistics that they want, and probably the next sponsorships is coming on the way.
I really have one very nice example. There is a foundation here in Bulgaria called For Our Children, and in Limacon we sponsors for 5 years already. Every year I get a report, an annual report. Then after every event that I've invested, or even if I haven't invested anything, they send me what has happened, how many people, how much money they've collected and all that. After every collection, they show us pictures, or they send us pictures on a weekly basis how they're spending those money. All this it makes me want to invest more and more, because I see the organization and I know they kind of emotionally touch me. I'm a marketer, I know why they're doing it, but I'm like, oh, I'm important to them, you know. They are giving me information, so they haven't just taken my money and just forgotten about me, okay? So you gotta touch them emotionally, and then also statistically, analytically, and only then they will invest more and more. I very much believe in what Jenny said. The best sponsors are the sponsors you've already had, because they definitely believe in your organization, in your skills, in your ideas, that everything's possible with you. So just pamper them as much as you can once they give you the first money. I'm gonna take on so we could go faster a little bit. So in the first minute, we're coming to the moment where you're already in front of these people, okay? And let's say that you have to do a presentation and not just a genuine talk. You gotta start with the introduction. And I just want to tell you a little bit about what is the most important thing nowadays. It's not just talking. You have to have a booklet and you have to have a presentation. Why a booklet and why a presentation, and why you got it, and why you have to have them both? Because when you send something, a lot of people open them through their phones. When you open on a phone, it's very much, you see how a presentation looks like on a phone? Very small, very blah. But when you have a booklet, one page is on one slide, so it's easier to look at. And then, but if you go face to face to somebody, then you need the presentation 16 times 9. So that's why it's super important you have them both. When they open your booklet, they should see an introduction. And in this introduction, you should put words about why this is, something like, let's say you organize a community event. Why communities have to come together? Why is this important for the world as a whole? Okay, so I want two, three sentences that you're gonna kind of put me into the subject. Okay, I am this and this organization since this created this and this year and all that. I don't care who you are. Tell me why I should even start to read this booklet. Okay, what is the problem that you're gonna resolve in the world? What are the needs you're gonna complete? So start a few sentences with that. Then explain a bit who you are. Okay, then tell them now. Tell them about the program first. So tell them about the problem, then tell them about the program and how this program is gonna, or the project is gonna resolve this. And then tell me why I should give the money to your organization and not just give it to another organization that are gonna solve the same problem. In the explanation of what is your project, that's where you put the creativity. That's where they should see the creative touch. In who you are, they should see how good your organization is built. So I have the team, I have the resources, and I also know how to organize. I have the project management skills. Okay. The second thing that is super important is what are the benefits for the sponsor. Now, we're not talking here about I'm gonna put your logo on a piece of paper. We're talking about the major things that they're gonna receive. So you gotta tell them, you gotta remind them. They know that if they sponsor you, they're gonna get a brand recognition, but remind it to them. So brand recognition is one of the things you're gonna get from that. Emotional relevance is another thing that you could get from them. On the ground marketing, which means marketing that is not about here, buy my product, but some reverse way of getting into your target audience. Integrated marketing goals, which means that you're gonna sit down with them and ask them, what are your goals in your corporate social responsibility? And you're gonna try to really achieve their goals. So you're gonna listen to what they need and not just ask money from them. And then also flexibility and parallel flexibility, that you're just gonna be flexible, that you're gonna be reportive, that all that. Just remind it to them. And then what Jenny said earlier, it's super important. Do never send to them booklets that are just text, all text. No, we gotta see some numbers, and some of the text you could actually put into infographics so people could immediately get get a feel of the information you want to send to them. So if you already have organized this and it's second year in a row, tell them what are the results from the last year. And if you've never organized it, you definitely got the idea from somewhere. So just search around and see how many people visited this type of event or how many people participated in this type of program. So give them the goals. I want to reach this number. But just give it to them so they could also make an informed decision. They're not just giving money for dreams, unfortunately. What is going to be your target audience is the next thing that they're very interested in. I'm very impressed when I get proposals and people are like, oh, we want to reach everybody. I'm like, good luck. Yeah, thanks, good luck. So I don't want to reach everybody. I want to give money to somebody who's gonna help somebody I care for, or I want to give money to somebody who's gonna reach the audience that I want to reach so I can make money. So those are the two things you gotta have in your mind. So show them what are the people you're gonna be focused on so they can see if you fit together. And the marketing plan, tell them your marketing plan. A summary of it, of course, but just say it. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have newsletters, I wanna have website. You want to have. You know very well that if they don't give you the budget, you're not gonna have all these things. But why not put them in the presentation? You're willing to do all this. Those medias are willing to give you the space and all that. They just have to give you the money. And you're gonna make it all happen. So put it there in numbers. And then, of course, definitely share your program. It doesn't matter what it's gonna be, but just share it with them. Not with too many details, but again, and please, super important. If you are, if that's an event with speakers, just because a speaker is super important person or a very well-known person in your group of people, don't think your sponsors know who this person is. So don't just put their name and that's it, and then expect everybody to be like, oh wow, they got this person to participate, then I'm gonna give. No, you have to explain to them who this is. Maybe even put some links to videos of this person or whatsoever, so they can really get a sense of how great they are. Present the sponsorship packages, what Jenny said, super important. Please, I've been to so many meetings. I've actually made a meeting where I just went and was like, whatever you can give me, which is like, it's just not okay. Thankfully, by 35 now, I'm a little smarter. So just, it doesn't matter how you put it together. Me personally, I like a table because they compare very easily then the different packages. And what I really like is people we're greedy. So if in the boxes next to the box that we liked as a sum, there is one tick more, I want it. I just want my logo over here too. So sometimes that makes a big difference, and people are like, okay, I'm not gonna give you 2,500. I'm gonna give you 5,000. But have me there. Another very nice trick is when you send a follow-up email, mention other companies, not from the same importance or the same, as big as they are, who have already invested in your project. Because, again, the greed, if they're there. But not in the same industry, exactly. But not in the same industry. That's why I said they're as big as they are, but not in the same industry. And just, make them want to be there as well. Type of sponsorship packages, again, something very nice that you definitely should not forget is that sometimes you don't need only money from a sponsorship. You need water, you need some food, you need whatever other things you need, but packages or whatsoever, print materials from print stations. So just put it in your proposal. Let everybody see it. Show it to every sponsor. Don't just put it to the water company. And then the water company is gonna really recognize themselves exactly in this proposal, probably. Because if you go to a water company and tell them, give me $5,000 to buy myself the water, they're just not gonna give it to you. They're gonna think you're a fool. They're just not gonna trust you with their money, neither with their water. So that's the first, and it's called in-kind sponsorships. I don't know if you know the term, but it's very nice, and just put it in your presentation. People will know that you're knowledgeable about things. And then the media sponsorship, also put it for the media so they know that they should sponsor you as well. And then promotional partners, I really like that because, or friends of the event, some people call it. It's basically if a normal participant in your event have to pay 200 euro to participate, you could tell them that they could become one of your investors or one of your sponsors if they pay, let's say, 300 or 400. So everybody, you could gather some money from everybody if you don't have super big sponsors, and then say that this event is kind of a group effort that we all made it happen together. I haven't done that, but I've seen it in few proposals now. When I was preparing for this presentation, I was very impressed, and I've definitely tried it. And of course, the financial details, we definitely don't tell them, don't share with them anything about your budget. You don't have to show them your budget, but tell them what you're gonna be spending your money, just as words, okay? Just, we want to do this and that, or if there is something you want to do, let's say a 3D mapping or something, just so they know what you're really going to use the money for. And then for sure put your contact details. And when I say your contact details, I mean, as you see here, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything that your event has, just put it there. And I'm not joking here, because sometimes when I'm working with companies and we're looking for events to sponsor, because we built a lot of corporate social responsibilities for our clients, I cannot find their Facebook page because the name is written in some, I don't know what kind of words, and their wording and symbols and whatsoever. I cannot find it. I cannot see whether or not they're good in social. So I could pick them from my corporate social responsibility to work with them. So just put them there for the people to reach very easily. The design months are very easy. Have design layouts. So have punkts to make your visuals, and then start building your presentations and your booklets depending on those visuals. Please do not use any designs from PowerPoint and then just put wording in it, because your idea, your event, or your project, it deserves a social their own corporate identity, and only then people are really gonna give you money, because they see that you put a lot of effort in preparing for this idea, and that you gave something from yourself. There's something very important. No matter if you're trying to fund your company or your idea, there is one thing that makes very good impression for investors, and that's that you've invested in your idea first. So yeah, you should take a loan or whatever for 1,000 or 2,000 level, invest, create something in front. That's the only way you're gonna make them realize that you're really dedicated in happening your idea. And after that, ask them for the money. Don't expect that they're going to give you everything. Use up to 3 fonts, please. Because this is a presentation, okay? It's not a poster. It's a presentation, and they gotta be able to read easily. Stick to brand colors, of course. Stick to your corporate identity as well, and pay attention to visual hierarchy. Be unique in certain way, however you decide to do it.
the most important part at the very end of the day, right? I think this is the time to thank the European Commission and Erasmus Plus program for supporting Cultart. Thank you a lot, Limacon. I think the information, the tips, and your ideas, and also your experience, personal and as a company, will serve a lot to our participants. If anybody has a question to them?
Yeah.
It's just very practical for us, and I was wondering if it's possible to have this presentation. We maybe a Facebook group, if we can.
We're gonna give it to the organizers, and they can do whatever they.
Because I was taking pictures, but maybe if we can have it, then it's better. I can go it.
We'll distribute it for sure.
Thank you.
No.
You said that one should mention if there's already a sponsor of a comparable size that has invested, but then you added, but not from the same industry.
Absolutely.
Is it in general a no-go to get two sponsors from the same industry, or should one just not let them aggressively know about each other?
I cannot say it's never possible. There probably is a certain situation where you could, but most of the time, if I'm a company, I don't want my logo to stay next to my competitor's logo, and I want to be unique in my corporate social responsibility. Okay, I just don't want my competitor to get the same exposure as I do, because then it doesn't make sense for me to invest. Okay, I do corporate social responsibility for good, but I also do it for PR.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and here I think you had another question.
On a practical level, I would like. Is there, based on your experience, of course, trying to find the right sponsorship is also kind of hard, of course. But are there like websites or like places where you can go and have, apart from crowdfunding, speaking of actual, even the European Union, or even getting funds from the European Union, the Commission, as this incredible program had, but is there, based on your experience, is there like a practical way, a few steps?
This is an amazing idea for a new project. No, I haven't heard, and I would research, but I haven't heard and I haven't used a website like that. But I could imagine that it would be super nice if there is one website where big corporations could put their corporate social responsibility programs and really report on how they've done and what projects and how much money they've invested and what they've gained and all that. And they would also gain from that. So it's a super nice idea. Go for it. Then you will know all sponsors and they will definitely sponsor your ideas afterwards. If you realize this one.
I think people are getting tired at the end of the day. Thank you a lot, girls.